Patrick and
I'm Lisa.
welcome to our channel, Compass Trail Adventures. Today we're going to highlight Sledz East Customs, where you can come and get all your motorcycle needs, customizations, custom builds, service, and fabrication done here in DeLand, Florida. We're going to discuss with the owner today what got him involved in the motorcycle culture and lifestyle, and go over things that you might want to do and need to do for safety and those service requirements for extended trips that you might take cross country. And I'm with
Paul, I'm the owner.
This is Paul, the owner, and Paul has been graciously to get our bike ready for a long cross country trip. It's going to be about 7,000 miles. So we're going to go over a few things you might want to do for that long trip, maintenance and safety issues that you might want to be concerned of when you're taking your motorcycle for such a long drive. So Paul, let's first get started with you. What's your history here with Sledz East, and how'd you get started?
I got started honestly in the body shop world. I went to college in Detroit when I was 18 to do body and collision, heavy paint work and stuff. I graduated when I was 20 in Detroit, and I've always been a designer and a builder and an artist and stuff like that. So for me, it's just been a passion forever. I've always liked customizing anything with wheels. So that's just kind of where it took off for me. I used to build drag cars first. We used to, up in Michigan, we would cut and chassis the cars, cut the floors out of the back, and roll cages, narrow the rear ends, put ladder bar or four-link suspension under the cars, build big motors, blower motors, nitrous motors, whatever we were into. That's what we did, and that's how it kind of took off for me in the customizing world.
So basically, say you're a gearhead like the rest of us.
Yeah, very much so.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Paul, let's go ahead and highlight this build that you have behind us.
Okay.
All right, Paul, we're going to step aside and we're going to take a look here at your custom build. Tell us a little bit about it and how much blood, sweat, and tears you have into it.
It's no force Softail standard, actually, is where it started out. It was a skinny fender, 21-inch wheel bike, twin cam, had a blonde motor in it at the time. Customer brought it to me to build it for him as a bagger, and long story short, he couldn't afford to finish the bike, and I ended up with the bike. So it sat for a couple, 3 years before I ever actually really started doing anything with it, and I decided to kind of build it my way. So I like green. I'm a big fanatic of green, and I just did it my way, So I call the bike "Fuck It." So here it is. Fuck it.
All right, Paul, show us. I see you have a lot of custom features such as paint, parts, foot pegs, floorboards. Did you design these? Did you cut them and mill them yourself, or tell us a little bit about it?
Front footboards I made. The back ones, we could actually get those from one of our vendors. The front wheel's a 23-inch front rim. The rear rim is an 18 by 3.5. It's got a 150 rear tire. It's an 88 twin cam. It's stock. I haven't done anything to it because I don't ride it that often. It's got 18-inch bars, 6-inch risers. Went with the Heritage style light bar and big headlight on it. And I just did it my way. It's my bike. I wanted it my way. So that's what I did.
Paul, it also seems like you got a lot of time and custom paint. Are you your own artist when it comes to the paint?
I design it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I have an artist that does my artwork for me. I tell him what I want, where I want it, how I want it, and then they do that. I do all the groundwork, all the prep work, all the paint work, all the clearing. I do all of that stuff. But when it comes to the pictures, I have an artist for that, an airbrusher who just airbrushes. That's all they do.
Awesome. And how many awards has this bike won? Have you had it in anything?
I had it in one show ever, and it was so funny. I built another bike for my friend Panty Dropper. It's a Blue Road King, and we took both of these together, and we both won Best of Show at the Midwest Bike Show at the Beaver Bar.
Nice.
And it was so funny. I've never shown the bike other than that one show, so it was pretty funny. We beat out Seminole Harley, who had brought their version of a FXR out there. So this old bike and Shane's bike, we tied for Best of Show. It was pretty funny.
Very good. All right, what we're going to do next is come on in the frame there, Paul. Okay. Next, we're going to take a little tour of the shop, take a look at a bike you might have up on the stand, kind of go through what they like to do for servicing bikes, attention to detail to make sure when you ride out of here, you're not riding back until it's time for another service, or you might want some customization work done.
The bike came in with a blown head gasket originally, so we sent the junks and heads out, poured it out, and put new pistons and rings in it, and new gaskets, and then we got it running yesterday to break it in, and we noticed that we got a lot of noise down in the cam chest. So we tore it apart to see what was going on with it. It's actually got a bad cam bearing, and he wiped out the cams. So that's where we're at right now. We're going to put cams in it this week and new cam bearings.
All right, Paul, here we are at your merch station, which I had told everybody earlier in the video to, when they stop by, grab some merch, support your local shop, and tell us a little bit about your logo and how you came up with your design.
Well, I mean, I love the old panhead motor, so I kind of had the idea of putting the panhead motor behind the skull. We're an American company, so of course, red, white, and blue is our flag colors of our shop. So to me, it just made sense. Sledz East. I love old cars, old lead sled Mercs, cut chop top Mercs, and old bikers usually call their bikes sleds. So you get on their sled and go for a ride. So I just come up with Sledz East, and we're East because we're in the Daytona, Volusia County area. I used to be Gulf Coast Sledz when I used to be in the Gulf Coast of Florida years ago. So that's how it became Sledz East. So.
All right, very good. So when you're in the area, stop by, grab yourself a hat or a t-shirt. All right, folks, here we are with my bike, and we're going to go over the things that you want to pay attention to before embarking on a journey cross country. Getting ready at the end of the month to go on a 7,000-mile trip, so keep posted on our channel and see all the sites, and soon you'll see where we're going. I'll have a map set up, and that way you can follow us. All right, Paul, so I brought my bike into you because I was having a couple problems. I was having some, just my oil gauge was all over the place. I was wanting to shut off. It was stuttering, and I thought I was going to have some major problems. I was actually on my way to a ride. So what I did is, Paul's shop was on the way to where we were going. I said, screw it, let's just pull in, and we're going to have to leave it. So Paul, explain to me what happened with my bike and things that you did. Also knowing that I'm going to be pulling a camper trailer through the mountains as we go out west. So we bought ourselves a little Aspen Light camper trailer with a brake system on it. And Paul did a few things to the bike so that we're able to, I guess, have a little more power and strength as we're going through the mountains without losing our speed and our torque. So go ahead, Paul. Explain.
Well, what had happened was when he came in, he had almost zero oil pressure on the bike. So we brought it in. We tore down the cam chest to see what was going on. And the oil pump was bad. The tensioner was bad. And the cams needed to be upgraded. The lobes were kind of beat up and old. So that's what we did. We just went and rebuilt the cam chest, put a new oil pump in it. We ran some Andrews cams in it. We kept it kind of mild on the lift and duration on the cams, but we gave it kind of a torque style cam set where they were using a trike for heavy pulling and being able to, pull the weight of the bike and, successfully through mountains or any kind of hard terrain. So that's what we did with it. So we rebuilt the cam chest, adjustable push rods, new lifters, new cams, new tensioners, and new oil pump and new cam bearings. So that's what we did. And now it runs good, yeah?
Yeah, it runs good, and now we'll test it out once we start pulling the trailer. Over the next several days before we go on our trip, we'll take our trailer, pull it around town, around the county, go on a camping trip with it, and really test it out and see how everything goes. One thing to note is when you have any kind of work and service done to your bike, especially internal engine work, they suggest anybody who's new to the bike culture and new to motorcycles that you have a break-in period. Is that correct?
Yeah, I always like 500-mile break-in, change the oil, and then off and running. But I always like it just a nice medium cruise. Don't be hard on it. Just let it break itself in, and then we like to drop the oil and change the oil, and then you're off and running again.
Now, Paul, when you're doing interior motor work, there is a significance after that break-in period in changing your oil and all your fluids, especially if you've worked on your transmission or in your engine or in your
primary.
in your primary. And there's a reason why you want to change the oil after about 500 miles. Paul, you want to explain that to us?
Yeah, the engine, I like after the 500-mile break-in, whenever you do any kind of motor work, is to get any kind of metal particles, any breakdown out of the motor. That's what we're after when we say change your oil at 500. After that, I like to be at 3,000 miles on the motor, 5,000 on your transmission and/or your primary clutch system, because they all have moving parts too, but they're a little bit more forgiving. It's more gear-to-gear type stuff. The clutch compensator runs. You got the stator in your primary area, your charging system. So it's always good to change that fluid every 5,000 miles as well. So that's what we typically run on. That's what we tell our customers.
Perfect. That's good knowledge to know. And for your do-it-yourselfers, that's always the first place that you're going to notice a problem. When you're doing your oil changes, your fluid changes on your bike, you start to see metal particles and grime in there. You know something might be going on. So that's going to be a first indication of any interior issues you might have. So for your do-it-yourselfers, just make sure you pay attention to the condition of your fluids when you drain them. Well, that ends it for us. We're here at Sledz East, DeLand, Florida. Phone number 386-213-0235, right there on the sign behind us. You're ever in the area, come by. You ever need work, you're here for bike week or an event or just cruising through town and it's time for a service, stop by. They'll take care of you. They'll hook you up and you'll be on your way out with that comfortable feeling that you know you were treated well and your bike was taken care of. So, Paul, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
All right.
Click like and subscribe.